The true case of John Brian Altinger. This is one of those cases that feels more like a horror script than reality, except, tragically, it was all too real. In October 2008, John Brian Altinger, a 38-year-old man from Edmonton, Alberta, told his friends he was heading out to meet a woman he'd met online. He was kind, easygoing, and a bit of a romantic, the type of man who'd been looking forward to a real connection. But instead of a date, he was walking straight into a trap. The woman John believed he was meeting never existed. The dating profile had been set up by Mark Twitchell, an aspiring filmmaker who was obsessed with the TV show Dexter, a series about a forensic technician who secretly murders criminals. Twitchell wanted to bring that fantasy into the real world. He rented a garage in South Edmonton, telling people it was for a film project. He called the project House of Cards. What he really built was a kill room, plastic sheeting on the walls, weapons ready, a set piece that was modeled directly on Dexter's ritualistic scenes. When John arrived, he was ambushed. Evidence later showed he was struck from behind and stabbed. His blood was found pooled across the floor. Twitchell dismembered his body and tried to dispose of the remains in garbage bags, some of which were later found in a sewer drain. When John's friends received bizarre emails claiming he'd gone on a sudden trip to Costa Rica, they immediately knew something was wrong. The tone was off, too stiff, too formal. They contacted police. What they uncovered was chilling. Inside the garage, investigators found a mask, blood spatter, a knife, and traces of DNA linking back to John. And on Twitchell's laptop, they discovered a document titled SK Confessions. It read like a screenplay, part diary, part fantasy, describing in horrifying detail the killing of a man lured to a garage under false pretenses. It was essentially a written confession, cloaked as fiction. Twitchell was arrested within days. He claimed it had all been a film experiment gone wrong, insisting the murder scene was fabricated. But the evidence told a different story. John Altinger had been targeted, deceived, and murdered. Also, Twitchell could live out his fantasy of becoming a real-life Dexter. In April 2011, after a high-profile trial, Mark Twitchell was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. During the proceedings, prosecutors called it one of the most bizarre and disturbing cases in Canadian history. For many, the most haunting detail was how ordinary John's night began: a date, a chance for love, a quiet drive, and how his life was stolen by someone playing at being a monster from TV. John's family described him as caring, intelligent, and loyal, someone who didn't deserve to become part of a story written by a killer. Even now, this case serves as a grim warning about obsession, deception, and the darkness that can hide behind a screen. John's story isn't just about a killer who wanted to play a part, it's about a man's life that was stolen by a person who blurred the line between fantasy and cruelty. Please make sure to follow for more true case archives, because some stories should never be forgotten.